Let's travel back in time a little bit. The year is 1999. Yeah, baby, it's the 90s again. Those good old days when the internet was in its dinosaur stages, where we used cassette tapes that you could actually rewind with a pencil to play music, and boy bands and girl bands ruled the music scene. It's in this cultural wild wild west that we find 16-year-old teenage Neo. If you're watching and your brain's going, say who? That's your sign to go and watch episode 1, 2, and 3 so you can catch up and everything in this episode will make so much more sense. Okay? Great. Now, you know how in Hollywood films you get the high school teenage character archetypes? You know, like the sporty, handsome jock, the class clown, the smart nerd, or the pretty airhead head cheerleader. Yeah, well, teenage Nero didn't fit into any of those. Sure, she was pretty, but not pretty enough to be part of the popular group of girls that had the boys swooning thanks to braces and pimples. And sure, she got decent grades, but her creative brain distracted her from qualifying as one of those teachers' beloved nerdy geniuses. So maybe teenage Nero could have qualified as the dark, goth, artistic type who claims to hate the world and everything that's not black in it. But my grandma would have whipped my booty if I ever dressed in black with thick eyeliner around my eyes. So, teenage Nero was a mildly pretty, mildly smart, shy girl with braces and disrespectful pimples that illegally occupied the land that was her youthful face. She was figuring out how to balance hormones, crushes, the secret desire to just be normal and fit in. And of course, there was the art. Now, any artist will tell you that the desire to create some art is like an unpredictable addiction sometimes. Oh, it can play it cool with you and sometimes let you carry on with yourself, like you're just any other ordinary human being. But then it can suddenly rage up and hold you by the throat and demand you draw, paint, sculpt, something, anything. Even if it's just the potatoes you're learning to cook with, you better cube them in an artistic shape or else. So that was teenage Noel's experience. She could go a few days or even a week with her brain allowing her to be normal. And then the art monster would kick in and would need its fix immediately. The only problem was that she didn't have any proper tools for artistic expression. So she would find herself grabbing a pencil in the middle of a boring math class and start scribbling at the back of the book. Perks of sitting at the back of the class. And some days she forgot or just didn't have enough time to erase the sketches before the teacher collected the books. And sometimes she got caught. I mean, don't ask me why. After marking her math book with the typical 50% grade she got just to pass, would do for math, that the teacher would then suddenly accidentally open to the back of teenage Noah's book. What for? Anyway, teenage Nero did get reprimanded a few times by her numbers-brained math and accounting teachers for the sketches at the back of her books. They made it clear they didn't appreciate meeting a big-headed, bug-eyed Disney princess after grading her half-incorrect answers at the back of her book. The teacher even once threatened to speak to her parents about it and suggest that they get her a sketchbook. And of course, teenage Neo immediately swore to never ever sketch in the back of that book ever again. Remember, her parents had made it clear that art in their eyes was useless and they would never buy her art materials. What on earth for? They regularly reminded her that, as the firstborn child, she was to choose profitable subjects like math and science. And these subjects made Neo's creative brain hurt. But, nevertheless, the parents reminded her, "You have to finish high school, and then we will struggle to push you through university, so that you can get a high-paying degree, then get a job, and then help pay for your younger siblings' university studies. And also help take care of us. Oh yes, so you have to study to be an accountant, or an engineer, or better yet, a doctor. You know, like how I always dreamed of being a doctor, but couldn't. So stop the scribbling of yours everywhere and study harder. Be a good example to your younger siblings." And that was that. Teenage Neo struggled through high school, majoring in math, accounting, physical science, and computer studies. The only reprieve she got was the creative parts in the English class where she excelled in creative writing. And as for her art, well, her school didn't offer art as a school subject. So she had no art classes, no sketchbooks at home, just a bunch of sketches stolen upon the back of her school books when her brain zoned out of boring lessons. So the overall feeling teenage Neo had about being an artistically talented child was guilt. She felt guilty about not being able to break free from her addiction, her dirty artistic habit. The habit she had of dreaming of fantasy lands and settings and events instead of somehow making maths make sense. The habit of failing to resist picking up that pencil and sketching a happy, pretty lady she dreamed of one day becoming. And the habit of rushing too quickly to close her book, forgetting to erase her crimes because the teacher was coming her way to collect her book. And the habit of disappointing the parents who asked, "What's your problem with all this drawing nonsense?" Yes, making art was a guilty pleasure. And then she finished high school and things changed. Ah! I'm a teenager again. No! Hi guys, it's still me, Mini Neo, only I'm 16 again. Ugh. Anyway, you know I can't let you go without snitching on what Big Neo is cooking up for the next episode. Oh no, is that another pimple? Ugh. Inhale. Exhale. Ugh. You know what? I'm willing to admit that I didn't dislike everything about being a teenager in the 90s. I mean, there was that soulful R&B music, ooh, child, and Disney movies, the classics, the Spice Girls. I remember I even had those bombastic platform shoes that we used to call Spice Girl shoes here in South Africa. Yeah, tell me what you want, what you really, really want. I'll tell you what I want, what I really, really want. Okay, that's enough of that. And then there was also the Macarena dance. Hey, Macarena, aye. And we also had pages and the first Nokia phones, which were the size of a brick. They had no internet and only one snake game. Yeah. If you know nothing about that, Google it, baby. So, if you're like me and you sometimes like to go down that nostalgic road, remembering all the cool stuff from the 90s, then grab my 90s sticker sheet. This sticker sheet is for you if you are proud of that generation that laid the groundwork for so many cool innovations that we enjoy today. It has the first ever Nokia cell phone, a cassette tape. Remember those? And one of my favorites is this heart-shaped sticker that says born in the 80s, raised in the 90s, and of course some many other things on it. So grab yourself this sticker sheet and express your 90s pride. The link is in the description. Let's see what's coming up in the next video. By the way, do let me know if you like how my characters are evolving. You know, from the simple line drawings that I did in the first videos, now I'm adding some color to them. And my intention is to keep evolving until I can literally animate them. So, in the next video, Big Nell will be sharing the battle that goes on in her head every time she sits down to make an artwork. You know, like the good angel versus the bad angel kind of war. I think they also call it imposter syndrome, and how she deals with all of that. And of course, I, Teen Nero, and Mini Nero will also be back. So, thanks for watching. If you made it this far, mwah, we really appreciate you. From me and my chubby cheeks and my lazy left eye, see you in the next video. Bye. Dad, you know it.